We're going to be doing things a little bit different this week because we're going to be boondocking next week, which isn't new for us. The weather's getting nice, it's getting cool at night, and we've got a whole bunch of toys in our toolbox. So we're going to challenge ourselves to go several days without power, and we're going to bring you guys along for the ride. The first question you have to ask yourself is, what kind of boondocking am I going to be doing? Am I going to be doing full boondocking with no power, no water, no sewer? Am I going to mooch dock and maybe have a 110 connection to somebody's house or a water hose for some water? What exactly are you getting into? And for us, we're going to have access to water, and that's it next week. So the first thing I wanted to make sure is that all my tanks were empty, so we have plenty of room for wastewater when we roll in and we don't have that stress to deal with. Then we got to think about something that's near and dear to all of us, and that's power.
Cody and I are matching unintentionally once again. At least we're not wearing the same exact shirt, just the same colors. But let's just say that we're representing October Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
She always copies me. She's just trying to be cool.
The main priority for us is we're charging all of our toys, all of our electronics, all those batteries, anything we can go ahead and do in advance, it's going to help.
So now that we've got all of our batteries charged, we've had our camper plugged up all day, so our Redodo 410 amp hour lithium battery is fully charged, and we're excited to share this challenge with you guys. Yeah, I miss my keypad.
We learned a lesson. We need to keep our windows rolled down when the dogs are inside of the truck, because Eris has a very easy time locking it.
This is true.
Thankfully, our window was down enough where we saved it, but that was bad. They're always so happy to be here. I'm excited because our friend that has this property has a new puppy, and I'm excited to see how Eris reacts.
Good morning, guys. We just finished our first night without a generator or without shore power, and we're trying to do this for multiple days and really test our boondocking setup. It's cold. It was like 36 degrees this morning, and the furnace really took a toll on our lithium battery. I think we were around 70% when we woke up this morning. So we're anxiously awaiting the sun to get over the top of us, probably a couple more hours now to start recharging our battery. We had our OUPES plugged in last night to run all of our 110 household stuff, so that took care of our TV and Angela's blow dryer and the microwave and all that stuff. It was also on about 70% this morning. So I'm going to show you guys how I have all that set up and tucked away, but first we got a new tool for the toolbox. So you guys know I love my OUPES power station. This thing has been awesome. We use it a lot, and we're using it right now. One thing that's concerned me is if I got into a situation where I really needed to truly boondock without electricity, how am I going to charge it? Now, if you watched our video on that, you can plug it into a 110 outlet and it'll pull 1600 watts and it'll charge that thing in about an hour. Obviously, I don't have that luxury here. So I could get my generator out, which is a no-no this week because we're trying not to use it. We can plug it in the truck, which is going to take forever. So I reached out to OUPES, and they sent me a really nice foldable solar panels solely for the purpose of charging our OUPES power station when we're on the go. So I'm really excited to test that out here this week. The sun's about to be overhead. The reviews are mixed online about portable solar panels. There's a ton of different options out there and a ton of different opinions. I'm a newbie to all this kind of stuff, so we're going to test this and let you guys know exactly how it works. OUPES was nice enough to send us another toy to try along with this solar panel, and that's their Mega 1 power station. This is 1,024 watt hours, 2,000 watts output, and 4,500 watts peak. This is smaller than our Mega 2, so it's a lot lighter, a lot easier to move around. And I think it's going to be great to have two of these, because when we run one dead, we can just plug the other one in and have another one on the solar charger getting ready to go. I think this is going to work pretty much the same as my Mega 2, but I'll let you know if there's any differences. And we don't really need two power stations, so we're going to test this one out. We're going to put it back in the box, and we're going to give it away in the near future. So here's our OUPES Mega 1. It came out of the box at 63%. I'm going to go ahead and put this solar panel on it and set it over here in the sunshine and let that get cooking. It's 10:15 in the morning. Let's see what it does. 172 right now, and there's still a lot of shade from that tree on the sun. So we'll see. It's been a little over an hour, and we've came up right at 25%. That's pretty good. We've got good sunshine today. This is a 240 watt solar panel, and according to the OUPES app, it's pulling about 220 watts right now. So that's good. I'm sure I can mess with the angle and probably make it better, but it's not even the middle of the day, so I'll take 20% in an hour. The sun should get completely overhead here in a minute. Right now, the RV is really taking the biggest hit because it's not fully sunny yet. You can see we've still got a lot of shade, and that furnace has been running off and on all morning. It's still running in there right now, and we just dropped under 60% battery power. So that could create an issue. You're probably thinking, why don't you just move your RV right out here in the sun? Well, I put it over here so that I can reach way out and get water when I need it. More of a convenience thing. But hey, the nice thing about it is, if our battery gets low, I still don't have to start the generator. I can just plug one of my OUPES units directly into the trailer, flip that battery converter switch, and charge my own batteries. When I got here, I did turn off the battery power converter so that we're not trying to charge the Redodo lithium battery with the OUPES. Seemed kind of counterproductive. So our lithium battery is being totally charged by our solar panel, or not in this scenario. I also unplugged my outdoor fridge because it's just one less thing to draw power. So ignore my mess. But I just cleaned some stuff out of the basement and put my OUPES right here with the 110 plug. I really wanted to use a 50 amp plug, but it wouldn't quite go through my porthole there in the wet bay. So we just run it out here to a 110, use an adapter going right into the side of the RV. Now, my Mega 2 is getting kind of low because it's been running since last night with no charge. So here in a minute, when our Mega 1 gets to 100%, we'll take the Mega 2, hook it up to the solar panel, and in theory, it should get most of the way, if not all, charged throughout the afternoon, and we're good to go again tomorrow. I'd call day one of our test a success. I came out here just a few minutes ago and tilted it to the right just a little bit to get a little better angle on the sun. Gave us about another 20 watts. So right now it's charging just under 230 watts, and it's advertised at 240. So I'm pretty happy about that. Conditions are really good, but even so, it's doing what it's supposed to do. I want to do a real quick comparison between our OUPES Mega 2 and our OUPES Mega 1. Suffice to say, there's not a lot of difference in how they operate. The phone app functionality works the same. The Mega 1 has 4 110 outlets, along with your USB-C and your USB chargers for your phones and iPads and things like that, along with the 12-volt cigarette charger. The OUPES Mega 2 has all the same stuff, but it does have a 30 amp plug for your RV, which is really, really nice. And it's about twice the size, so twice the battery life, things like that. So it's really more about what you need. If you want something smaller, more portable, maybe you don't have as big of a power need, the Mega 1's the way to go. And if you need a little bit more juice like we sometimes do, I like the Mega 2. They also have a Mega 3. They've got one on wheels that rolls around. They've got all kinds of options. They have smaller options than these two. This unit's performed really well for us, and we've used it a lot more than I thought I would. And you can add external batteries. You can really stack these things up and get a lot of power. I don't necessarily need anything that big, but the option's out there. And you can buy multiple solar panels and link those together if you really wanted to build out a nice system. Great brand, nice and easy to work with. I've been really happy with them so far. Now that this one's fully charged, I'm gonna unplug the panel, charge up my Mega 2, hook this one up to the house. The solar panels are weatherproof. You just want to make sure you have tight and dry connections. The solar panel itself is weatherproof. The solar generator themselves are not weatherproof, which is why I have them inside of the RV. I noticed in the first couple times of cleaning this truck, I'm slinging all kinds of stuff all over those dually fenders, and the last thing I want that to do is throw a rock up and chip it. So we're gonna put some mud flaps on today. And I'm a really big fan of these Husky mud flaps. These things are great. I had them on my Ford truck, put them on when it was new. They went through 100,000 miles, never fell off, never cracked, never got discolored, anything like that. And what's really nice is you don't need to drill anything. You just take out the existing screws here in the mud guard, pop the new ones on, you're done in just a few minutes. Now I got these on realtruck.com also, not sponsored, but I have found with this truck, Real Truck seems to have a lot more stuff for dualies, and they have the guaranteed fit, so if for some reason these didn't work, they'd swap them out, no questions asked. All right, it is the end of my work day, so I wanted to give you guys a quick update on where we're at for power usage today. We've really abused this battery. It got down just under 50% today, and that was with a lot of furnace running, all the lights. The problem is we didn't take on much power today. It was almost 1 o'clock before the solar panel really started to show a positive charge. Before that, it was a negative with the stuff that was drawing on it. And now that we're here towards the end of the day, it's only come up about 10%. It's sitting just north of 60% right now. So I'm sure we'll get through another night, but we really need some better sun tomorrow or we're gonna have a problem. Now let's talk about our OUPES power stations. Earlier today, we pulled our OUPES Mega 2 out of the basement, put it on the solar charger. We put our OUPES Mega 1 in that was fully charged. Right now our OUPES Mega 1 is sitting right at 86%. And some things we've done with that today are keep our laptops charged, our camera batteries, our microphone batteries. We've ran the microwave, we've ran the coffee pot, we've done all that good kind of stuff. So this afternoon, that thing's holding up well. It'll more than get us through the night. As far as our Mega 2, I had ran that thing down pretty low. I put it on the solar charger about 1 o'clock or so this afternoon at 13%. It's worked its way back up to 44%, but the sun is changing angles. So I really don't think it's going to get all the way up to 100% tonight. Through most of the afternoon, it charged at about 220, 230 watts. That's really good as far as I'm concerned on a 240 watt panel. But as the sun's been changing, I keep seeing the wattage go down. So you can tell I've moved it throughout the day to give it the best angle of the sun. Right now we're pulling in about 180 watts. So I'm going to let this thing go until dark, put the Mega 2 inside, and see where we're at for tomorrow. Remember, we've always got our backup generator, so if things get low, we'll just crank the generator up. No big thing there. If the battery gets low in the trailer, I can just flip the converter switch on and charge the trailer battery off the OUPES. We sure do use a lot of power between the 12-volt fridge and everything else we have going on. So we're going to learn a lot in the next few days. We're going to keep you guys posted. So, since we love being here on this property so much, we're going to put the drone in the air and go see it from up high.
Home point updated.
The solar panel is so nasty with leaf residue and that. Ugh.
Yeah, that probably...
No wonder we're not charging well.
been here before.
Why are we at the body shop? Let's go find out. I'm gonna go see my buddy Garrett. We gotta clean it up because once I put this brush guard on, there won't be any getting the bugs off.
He can't help himself.
Well, we're all done here thanks to Garrett and the guys at Duck's Body Shop. As always, incredible work. And I think they work on everything. Is there you work on Rams, right?
We do, but there's a upgraded labor charge.
We'll take care of that on the back end of this. All right, we're ready for Bambi. We're gonna get out of his hair and get on about our day. Man, I appreciate it so much.
Cody,
as always.
Appreciate it, bud.
And me. We're doing important things. Oh, you did it! You got the peanut.
Yes.
You got it again.
Get her with that spider. She's scared of them.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
I'm really glad to have this brush guard on because historically, whenever I buy a new vehicle, I always hit a deer. And when we got the blue truck, we took it straight to a shop in Minnesota and had the brush guard put on. Didn't hit a deer. I'm not saying that I think this is luck or, you know, a good omen or whatever, but I've been driving around in the dark just cringing. But the point of the brush guard is to make sure that the truck's at least drivable so that we can get it out of wherever we're at. Because if I hit a deer and get stranded for 2 or 3 weeks, it won't be in Yellowstone. It won't be anywhere fun. It'll be in the middle of nowhere. So this is more of a uptime, keep the truck going deal. And hopefully we drive the truck until it's wore out and we never hit anything and it just sets up there and looks pretty. If I tear something up, if I can get it here, this is the only place I'll bring it. Again, they've been doing work for my family and friends as long as I've been alive. So thanks again to Garrett, Donnie, and Mike for taking care of our truck for us today and always taking care of us.
Last night got a little rough. We had a bit of a boondock fail. In fairness, we haven't really been very conservative. We've been running our microwave and our heater a lot. We're seeing 40 to 50 degree swings here in Arkansas this week. It gets pretty cold at night.
We basically lived like we were at home. We ran the microwave, all of our appliances. We really didn't care or worry too much about shutting off lights or trying to conserve it all. And that bit us a little bit last night. We woke up this morning, it was about 58 degrees in the house, and our lithium battery was completely dead. And we had a lot of stuff plugged in last night. The furnace was ripping and roaring, so not too surprised. Luckily we had juice in our OUPES, so all I had to do was flip the breaker for the power converter and it instantly started pulling power out of the OUPES to charge our lithium battery. So our fridge didn't miss a beat. I don't think the power was off that long. The fridge was still 38 degrees when I opened it up this morning, so we're good to go there. And that gave us immediate power, allowed us to take showers and do everything we needed to do this morning. But luckily once we started up the OUPES, it was able to put an immediate charge into our batteries and let us get through everything we needed to do for the morning. But the result from that a few hours later was we had an OUPES that was getting low on juice. We had our Redodo lithium battery that had juice in it, but it wasn't fully charged. And like we talked about, it's about 1 o'clock before the sun gets over the trailer far enough for the trailer to actually start taking a positive charge. So we had to go to our backup and bring out our little 2200 watt Westinghouse generator. We used that to top off the house battery. We used that to top off one of the OUPES units while the other one was sitting out in the sunshine with the portable solar panel. And now this afternoon, everything's completely recharged and refreshed, and we're ready to start over.
Now, what could we have done differently? That's another question.
I had the portable solar panel over there with the OUPES, and it was getting a charge at 8:30 this morning. Granted, it was only pulling in 20 or 30 watts, but it was something. So first off, I could have positioned the trailer a little bit better. 2, we probably could have done without the TV blaring. We probably could have turned the furnace down a little bit.
We were not conservative on our showers at all, so that pump was running the whole time. And we could have cleaned our solar panel and it'd be a little more efficient.
So the solar panels up there probably not running anywhere near full efficiency for what little sunlight it gets throughout the day. The other thing we could have done, we should have turned off our Govee lights. We caught that in a drone video last night. We're up flying around trying to get the sunset, and we're looking at the video later and we're like, oh, our Govee lights are set on an automatic timer to come on at a certain time of the night and a certain part of the morning. So that was sucking power down. I think the Govee lights pull about 40-45 watts, and that's not a lot, but when you add on a MacBook Pro that's pulling about 100 watts, and the Govee lights, and the phones, and the microphones for the GoPro cameras, and the drone battery, since I ran 3 dead yesterday, running the TV, and all the other stuff we were doing.
And run the lights for 13 hours.
And having the lights on for 13 hours. We should have taken a more proactive approach to our power usage. We have a lot of battery power right now, but in fairness, we generally don't boondock strictly off of solar or battery for very long. So even though we've been on the road for going on, what, 3 years in April, we're still not, I wouldn't say we're very well versed in how to really conserve power. I think we ignore the little things, which when you add them all up become big things, and we end up out of power in the morning. But that right there is a perfect reason for one of these little OUPES electric generators. It's pick it up, set it down, plug it in. So I still advocate for a generator, but these little solar generators, they're worth their weight in gold in the pinch.
You look at these families that are dealing with stuff with the floods and their homes being gone, and you just never quite know when you're going to be in an emergency situation. We're going to have something to get us by, and that makes me feel better. Besides the power situation, we made one more critical mistake, and it made for a pretty rough morning.
We ran out of propane. You guys know I always open 1 can at a time, but during the summer they've been lasting 6 weeks, 2 months on a 30-pound tank. My only assumption is that at some point it ran out in the middle of the shower. We opened another one real quick and we just forgot to get it filled. So we had 2 dry cans of propane. So even once we had our power on, we still didn't have our furnace, but luckily the OUPES came in clutch and let us run our electric fireplace this morning, which was much, much appreciated.
This morning was much better. We woke up with 50% battery. Our OUPES is still at 80% from overnight. The only thing we really did differently was we made sure all those little appliances were unplugged. And the big one was we cranked the heater down quite a bit last night. We were still very comfortable. The solar panel has been very surprising. Like we've mentioned before, Cody does a lot of research on the online forums where you can get a little more real life, real people reviews. And this one had mixed reviews, to be honest. We've been pretty happy with how quickly it charges. The downside is you do have to stay on top of it, just like you would with any other of these power options. You have to constantly be turning it to get that right angle of the sun. But I think Cody's just been doing it 3, maybe 4 times throughout the day just to get optimal. And you can tell an immediate change when he spins it. So far, so good. We've got some errands to run in town today. We'll bring you along. Oh, go get Eris. Leave me alone. Go get Eris.
Next on the agenda today is to get the stuff mailed off to register this new truck. I just got the title and everything in the mail this week. We've got 45 days in South Dakota and we're almost to day 30. The good folks at Laura Auto Group sent me everything, title and all that good stuff. They even filled out the title transfer paper and did all the paperwork for me. All I gotta do is sign a couple of documents and mail it off to South Dakota. And from what I was told when I called South Dakota, they'll figure out my sales tax, call me, I'll pay it over the phone, and they'll overnight my plates to me. So hopefully we can get this done in about the next 16 or 17 days or we're gonna be illegal. $41 to send that envelope there and get it by noon on Monday.
Holy moly.
Being remote and being a nomad definitely has some extra expenses here and there. This is one of them. It's something you learn to live with, but hopefully this will encourage you guys if you decide to buy a car out of state. You can still get it all done without having to go to your treasurer's office or your DMV. But if you're in a stationary place for more than a week at a time, unlike us, you can probably avoid some of this forwarding and extra mailing around. But hey, we live the way we live and we got to pay for it. But there's something right around the corner where we can have lunch where we haven't had lunch in a long, long time.
Something tells me it's Art's Barbecue.
It's not Art's Barbecue.
No?
It's a chain, but it's a chain that we love.
Did they serve ice cream?
They do serve ice cream.
I know where we're going. Cody likes to treat me like a queen and take me to some fancy places.
So if you're in Arkansas or Oklahoma, I think they have some in Missouri, Brahms Ice Cream and Dairy Store.
Or a lot of them actually have a little fresh market where you can get fresh milk, and there are people that drive 45 minutes every week to get their milk here. Just saying.
Great ice cream too.
Hi, baby.
Oh, you're a good boy.
Let's see your friend. Look who's here to see you. Oh, it's your friend. Go get him. Cody just plugged the OUPES back in because one other thing that we decided to do was to not have it running while we were away. It seemed kind of silly, even though it may be a small draw, those little bitty things, little lights and little things that might pull on it. It's one less thing drawing it down. You know how some days just seem like you can't go any faster than you are? We had planned to get this done today and be back by now. We decided to drive a couple hours down to our property in Arkansas, take care of a couple things pretty quickly. The day just kind of got away from us, but we're here. First things first.
Dump.
We're gonna dump a few days worth of sewage.
Yeah.
So that we can make it the rest of the week, since we have a place to dump here.
Maybe we could have made it, I don't know, but 7 to 10 days is about the max on the black tank, and we were at 4 with 7 more days to go, so I thought we're going anyway.
We came down to do some really quick winterizing, just turn it into an all-day affair.
This is a flush hose that I use on the boat and the wave runner to pump antifreeze through them and winterize them. I know most people will tell you all you need to do is rev the engines and blow the water out. I always put antifreeze through the engines. It's just cheap insurance. So I just needed this little adapter that goes on the end of a hose, and I have one, but I've lost I don't know how many over the years, and we're going to winterize the boat and the jet ski tomorrow, so I needed this. These things are like $10 online, and I just couldn't get one delivered fast enough. What'd this run? I about fell over. $34.01 for this flush hose.
Wow. We found out that our wave runner battery is dead, so our NOCO is coming into play. Eris found a piece of a snake skin to chew on. You're disgusting.
So we're not quite done with our boondocking adventure here, but this is going to conclude our test on the OUPES power units, because today it got up to 89 degrees and it's October 22nd. It's hot. We had to get the big boy generator out and be able to run the air conditioner all day long today. So that was a little bit more than this would handle. So you guys saw the review we did on the OUPES Mega 2, and now we tested out the Mega 1. As far as usability, they're pretty much the same. They work the same, the screens work the same, the phone app, which I highly recommend, works the same. The big difference is the OUPES Mega 1 is about half of the total capacity of the Mega 2, and it doesn't have the 30 amp plug like the Mega 2 does, which I find comes in really, really handy. We've done a lot with these this week. When our lithium battery went dead on our trailer, we used this to charge it through the power converter. We've ran the house on it. I might have kicked the AC on just for a little while because I wanted to play with it. But these things have performed really, really well. And while you can definitely get by without them, if you're always at full hookup campgrounds with power, maybe you don't need a generator or a solar generator. But I think these things are a great option, especially if you're looking to go off grid for a day or two. And with the solar panel, that makes it even nicer because you can be doing pass-through charging while you're running items inside your rig, like Angela did today with her hairdryer. The OUPES solar panel did great. If I had it positioned correctly, when we had good sunlight, I saw it pull in 227 watts, and it would charge this unit pretty easily in an afternoon. This one takes a little longer, but obviously it's twice the battery to charge. But I think these are great because the OUPES gives you a lot of information, especially if you look on the app, or you can sit and watch the screen, however you want to do it. But let's say you have a laptop charger plugged into it, and it'll show you it's putting out 100 watts. If your solar panel's pulling in 200 watts, you're self-sufficient. Even if you're not pulling in as much as you're putting out, it still prolongs the total life of the battery before you have to go find 110 power. So I found the solar panel to be really effective. This is a great kit, but I don't need two of them. If you guys follow our Facebook page, you know we're doing a little unofficial meetup here in Arkansas this week. We're gonna get together with about 20 or so people, and we're gonna give this away there because I hope somebody gets a lot of use out of this, and I can use the room back in the basement. And anytime we can give anything back to show you guys some appreciation for spending your time with us, we always want to do that. So I know this video was kind of all over the place in a couple of different ways, mainly because we didn't do anything to conserve energy on the front end, but we kind of just wanted to see what we could do. It's really important to do a power audit and just to kind of have an idea of how much wattage everything pulls, because that stuff adds up pretty quick. For instance, our little electric fireplace, we haven't used it on the cool mornings because it pulls about 1700 watts. A MacBook charger pulls over 100 watts. My little outdoor mini fridge pulls about 300 watts. Running the coffee pot in the morning draws about 800 watts. The microwave draws 1500 watts. And what's nice is if you're using the OUPES app, you can see how many watts are going out in total, and it'll give you an estimated time remaining on how long it'll run. So you kind of know where you're at. So that about wraps it up for us on this video. We want to say thanks to OUPES for continuing to be a great partner to us and for giving us another toy to try here. I'm really excited to keep using that solar panel every chance I get and see what that does for me out on the road. As always, we have links in the description to everything, including a discount code for OUPES. If you want to get something from them, we highly recommend their stuff. It's worked great for us. And don't forget, if you're ever looking to see kind of a running list of all the gear we carry and the stuff we use, you can always check out our Amazon store. We try really hard to keep it neat and organized so you guys can find what you're looking for in a hurry.
Thank you for spending your time with us, and we will see you on the next one.